Okay, today we're going to work on drawing modes in Illustrator. Drawing modes in Illustrator can be really nice way of working. They work similar to it with your objects choosing to send things front and back, but it actually has a lot more with arrangement, the front and back, but it actually has a few more features which I really like. And so let's go over this. Now you already have this file in your folder, so it would work well to open it up now, and it also works well if you watch me do it once and then the next time you watch and do it along with me. But you know, work the way that you feel most comfortable in. So let's begin. So we see this scene, and I'm going to go ahead and select um, draw behind, which is already there. So I have three choices: draw normal, draw behind, and draw inside. I'm going to go ahead and stay with draw behind, and I'm going to do a background, and I'm going to click on my shape, particularly my rectangle tool, and I'm just going to click and drag to get my shape. I'm going to do the whole box, and I'm going to click on my fill, my white, and again inside of your folder you'll have a swatch, so make sure you're setting swatches. You'll have a gradient, and that's the one I'm going to select. And what I'm also going to do is go to the gradient options and click on that, pull that up, and I'm going to actually change it to the angle to 290. Okay, so that changes up the gradient in a nice way. Keep in mind, I clicked on the fill box, which started out as white, and I made sure that I was in swatches, and I chose the gradient swatch, and then I went into my gradient options in order to change the angle. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and change my mode to normal for a moment. I'm going to go into my selection tool, which I always recommend that you stay in unless you're using another tool purposefully. Go ahead and try to stay into your selection tool, because that way if you click, it doesn't harm your work. Okay, so I'm going to click on the yellow, and I'm going the yellow balloon. I'm going to click behind, because what I want to do next is to take this cloud that's outside of my artboard and bring it into the composition, but I want to do it so that the cloud is behind the yellow balloon. So I selected the cloud, and now I'm going to hit cut. I'm doing that in edit, and I'm going to come back, and I have I selected the balloon, and I'm gonna hit paste. So now, and I'm still in my selection tool, and so now I can move this cloud, and we see that it still stays behind the balloon, but it sort of peeks out, which is nice, and I can take it and put it on the other side of the composition if I want, or I can keep it on this side. Okay? So, but there's other things that I can do with mode. So now I'm just going to click on normal again, just so that again I have that freedom and I'm in my selection tool. But now I'm going to use the drawing mode to click on draw inside. With that, I'm going to click on the balloon, and I'm going to make sure that I have the draw inside selected. I'm going to just do that one more time. Draw inside. There you go. Because I'm looking to see the box, which is usually what you see when you do this. So because I had selected it prior to, I think Illustrator got it confused. So I have this now. And now what I'm going to do is draw some circles inside. So I'm going to get my shape tool, click and hold. I'm going to use my ellipsis tool, and I'm going to switch the fill to like a sort of a lime green. Okay, and when I start to make my circles, you'll see how if I go outside of the balloon, the circle, if my circle goes outside of the balloon, it wants to keep those things, keep that half or portion out of the composition, which is exactly what I want it to do. Now, I can go ahead and click on to normal. To normal. I'm going to go to normal, but I just clicked on to select. I can change my mode to normal to draw normal. And if I double click, I can go inside and I can change my shapes that I just made. Okay? Which works quite nicely. And now I can go back. And so I'm here. So at this point, I've drawn on the inside. I've used the inside mode for drawing so that I could put my circles on my balloon. I've done the behind for my cloud, and now I'm going to do work on this balloon here and the shape that you see outside of the drawing board. So for that, I'm going to click on the yellow balloon and I'm going to do the draw inside. I'm going to go ahead and select my shape that I want. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to click on the inside of my great yellow balloon and I'm going to hit paste, and we see how it fits in there nicely, and I can continue to move this around if I want to. And if I'm happy with it, I can click off of it and again click out and go back into just drawing mode, and you'll see the binding boxes or the little marching ants, like I like to say, stop, and all of a sudden I have a piece where I've taken shapes and put them inside of my balloons. I've taken other shapes like the clouds and put them outside. So it's a really great fun way to work. So try this out for yourself and try to do a few new things to this and play around a little bit, and don't forget to upload your work to show us what you did. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.